It just takes two. It just takes two.
And now, live from beautiful downtown Sonoma, recorded previously, from a room without a window, it's Popcorny the Podcast, with the outspoken, opinionated, dares to be different Little Miss likes to fight herself, Gina Pinelli, and, darling of the airwaves, a girl who can barely keep her head on her shoulders, self-proclaimed musical theater geek and master of nonsense, Kat Smith.
Welcome to Popcorny. I'm one of your hosts, Kat Smith. With me is Gina Pinelli. We will be here every week with a new show on Monday discussing anything current, including pop culture trends and current events. Learn with us and from us as we jibber-jabber away for the next 30 or so minutes. Welcome back to Popcorny. So we have a guest. It is Diana Dawn.
Hi, Diana.
Hi, girls.
And we have her on because of a hit show on NBC called Smash.
It's a smash.
Gina hates it. That was sarcasm right there.
But
we'll get to that in a minute. Why did we bring you here? There's a particular reason.
I don't know.
Gina, did you hear that? Who's here with us?
Oh, can you feel the breeze from the subway? Isn't it just delicious?
Oh, wow. I don't think I've ever heard you do that.
Thank you ever so.
Does it just naturally flow from you? Is that?
Diana Dawn is a professional Marilyn Monroe impersonator.
Oh,
That's right.
I should have done my research.
Oh, it makes it much more fun to be spontaneous.
Yeah, I like the surprise. I like that she didn't know. I thought it was obvious when I invited you.
I thought she was just a big fan.
Well, she is a huge fan. She knows more than me, which is huge.
That's big. Absolutely.
I was just going to say, what's the word you're not allowed to say? Absolutely.
So do you do this for a living or?
I do.
Wow.
I do. I've been making appearances for years.
What's
Traveled the world.
What's the name of your business?
Lasting Impressions of Marilyn.
She has a few other people that she likes to work with.
I do. I've worked with the Rat Pack.
The Rap Pack?
No,
that's
Rat.
cute.
Oh,
Rat.
Rat.
You're funny.
I'm funny.
Adina Martin. I've always loved Dean Martin. And so it's so fun to work with the next best thing. Tribute artist and a Sinatra tribute artist. Elvis.
There was
the
even
list
one
goes
time she
on.
hired a Tarzan. I was there for that
that's
one.
right.
Wait, you hired
That's right.
A Tarzan and Jane.
Were you the Jane?
No.
You
I
could've
can't
been.
remember. No, it was
Oh,
one of
now
your
I
friend's
remember.
daughters.
Now I remember.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. She's
They
a
were really
doll.
cute together.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's
Although,
great.
apparently, I don't know, the loincloth, I think, was a little much for the atmosphere.
Right. Well, thank goodness I get to wear a lot more than a loincloth.
That's true.
You know, in comparison, I didn't think that I was wearing much more, but now that
Now
you've
you know.
given me that visual, I feel completely covered.
Yeah. Well, do you wear like the white dress with the plunging neckline and the whole ensemble?
I have replicas of so many of her gowns. The 7-year-itch
Wow.
white halter dress that you're speaking of, the infamous dress that blew up over the steam grate
Right.
and created a lot of, the divorce perhaps of Marilyn and Joe DiMaggio. And speaking of Joe, I just feel so thrilled that I had the opportunity to meet him.
Oh, that leads up to
wow.
my next question. How did you get started performing as Marilyn? Isn't that part of the story?
I would say that he does have a lot to do with it because
This is fun. Gina doesn't know any of it.
No, I know.
Which means the entire universe doesn't know, and I'm telling everyone now.
So I was at a special charity City of Hope golf tournament as one of the caddies, one of the girls driving around and delivering up the goods, meaning, refreshments and things like that.
Of course, she had to.
I wanted to clarify. And there was about 24 girls who were part of some big Miss California competition, and I was just there along with my friend who was in the competition. And so at the end of the whole golf tournament, I got a call from the head of the whole organization, and he said, Joe DiMaggio was there, by the way, and some other golf celebs.
Celebrities.
And so he said, Joe DiMaggio would like you to be his hostess at his next golf tournament. I said, oh, come on. You're joking. You're just teasing me, because he always said you look like Norma Jean. And so I didn't really believe him until it was, I think maybe a few days later, I got a phone call, and it was actually one of Joe DiMaggio's friends who got on the line first. And then he said, Joe's here with me and he would like to talk with you. And so sure enough, he asked me if I wanted to be a hostess in his next golf tournament.
Wow.
And so I agreed, and just the buzz amongst his friends and back to me was that Joe was smitten with me because I reminded him of Norma Jean. And so that just kind of carried with me. It was a real uplifting, positive, wonderful feeling. And so here it was then. Well, I don't know if I should jump 7 years later yet, but he also asked me out on a date, and so we got together. And
Wow.
I know, right?
He thanked me also for being in his hostess in his tournament with a bottle of champagne. So I've been just bubbling over with joy ever since. But it was 7 years later when I was pushed into a contest by a friend of my mom's who said I reminded her of Marilyn Monroe. And so, of course, connecting all the dots. And I finally agreed, because I've always been such a shy person. But I found that it was just an overwhelming positive experience. And a lot of the people there just wanted me for other events. And there was a woman there in particular that was a neighbor of Marilyn's. And she had said of all the Marilyns she's come across, that I had her presence. And she just made me really inspired. And so from there, just doors opened up in a whole new career that I had never imagined I would step into. There I was, stepping into Marilyn's shoes, almost every day for a decade.
Wow. I've said wow now way too many times,
It's
but
okay.
that's
You're
an
in
amazing
awe.
story. The beauty of it is you didn't even expect or see yourself as Norma Jean or going into be a Marilyn.
I
don't wanna
literally
say
get goosebumps every time.
And
I
that's
do.
the thing. I don't want to say impersonator, because it's like you really embrace who she
embodies
is
her.
and you embody her. And did you know that you could sing like her or sound like her beforehand? I mean,
Yeah, well, that's what's really...
Gina's dumbfounded.
I'm dumbfounded.
I'm excited that you are, because it just stirs up all these fun memories for me. And I remember that I wanted to be an entertainer, but I knew that just seemed like such a far stretch because of how shy I was.
Right.
And so I did go to a singing coach, and the first thing she said to me was, you sound like Marilyn Monroe. And the way you move your mouth reminds me of Marilyn Monroe. So that was the age 19, the Joe DiMaggio age.
Right.
And right around there that I kept hearing, your smile, your this, your that. And I have to tell you that a friend of mine's father came home and brought me a book, a Norma Jean book. And that's finally when I looked at it. He goes, look, you look exactly like her. And I thought, this is really interesting, because I just having fun like girls do. We have fun posing for pictures.
Right.
And a lot of the pictures were photos that were almost, exact mirror images of photos that I had posed for fun.
Right.
And so I started seeing, when she had her dark hair as Norma Jean, I thought, wow, okay. So, we do have these similarities. But I think what was the most uplifting part for me was that now here we are then 7 years later, and when I stepped into again, I made the gown.
You got a 7-year itch.
I was just thinking it's
I
like
did.
a
I
Oh
got
my
a
gosh! Now I got
had
chills
a
again.
chill. Oh my gosh! I made the gown when I was going to enter this contest, when I decided that I would.
Which gown did you do? The pink one?
I think it was the Diamonds Are Girl's
Okay.
Best Friend
Yep.
gown. So it was really interesting, because I've always had a more, I've always been told I had a more hourglass, curvaceous figure.
Those are the best figures.
However,
Right.
back in that time, it wasn't so popular when I was teenager years and in my 20s, it wasn't so popular. I mean, not that it hurt me,
Right.
but it wasn't real popular. So I didn't feel real comfortable in my own frame, sort of speak, in my own skin.
I'm right there with you.
Okay, so then you can appreciate then when I stepped into this Marilyn Monroe role in her shoes and I was portraying her week after week after week, people loved me. People would compliment my figure. People would say, you just have a figure exactly like her. And so it became a really comfortable role to step into, and I love stepping into that fantasy world. But I have to tell you, when I stepped out of it, then again, it was like, gosh, here I am back into me. Will people accept me as myself? So I was really living a double life, and I loved the fantasy, stepping into that fantasy world.
Well, I love you as you, just so you know.
Thank you, Kat.
I met you as you, and I thought you were fabulous as you. And I think
She didn't even know.
I didn't even know. I think you're fabulous as you, and I love that you're Marilyn too.
Thank
and
you
Norma
ever
Jean.
so.
And speaking of Joe DiMaggio,
Yes.
he's about to join the cast. Not him, but somebody about to portray him. I don't have the name of the actor. I forgot to look that up, but I did see there was a little sneak peek, a little faraway picture, so I almost recognized the actor, but I didn't quite get a good look at him. And I'm talking about Smash.
Oh,
Right.
It's on
I love that
NBC
show.
Mondays at 10, 9 Central. I watch it on Hulu Plus. I don't have cable. But that's the
Okay.
cool thing about TV now. You have options.
Yes. Many options. And I'm looking so forward to when they come out with a CD.
A DVD? Oh,
well,
you mean
actually,
of the
CD
songs?
of all the songs. The songs
You know
are
what?
amazing.
I think they already have them on iTunes, in fact.
even
They're
songs that
so
we haven't
fast.
heard yet. Because
Possibly.
every week there's a new
There's a
song
new
they're
one.
popping out.
Well, I saw pictures today of both of the girls dressed like Marilyn, and Catherine McPhee has not been dressed like Marilyn yet. So I know they're at least far enough that she's going to be performing something.
And I
As
have
her.
always loved her from day one with American Idol.
Mm-hmm. She was
I'm
in
so happy
season
for her.
5.
And she looks fabulous as Marilyn.
Oh, she does. She's so cute. I love the
Cute.
contrast. She really is
Right.
the Norma Jean of the show. I mean, a lot of that is the acting and the characters
True,
being
right.
written to be that way. But it really is a nice contrast because the other one really does kind of take on the Marilyn even as her normal character,
Right.
Ivy.
So we need to make sure that everyone who's maybe listening to us kind of knows what the show's about, because I had no idea really what I was getting myself into when I started watching it. I just thought it was going to be about this show that they were doing for Marilyn. Apparently, there's not. It's different.
So, for those who don't know, Smash is a musical drama that celebrates, and this is straight off their website. I'm not this clever. No, I am this clever. I just didn't write it. It's a musical drama that celebrates the beauty and heartbreak of the Broadway theater as it follows a cross-section of dreamers and schemers, I like that line,
Me too.
who all have one common desire, to be a smash. The series centers on a desire to create a Broadway musical based on the life of Marilyn, which is why we have Diana Dawn here. And there's a rivalry between Midwestern beauty Karen, who's played by Catherine McPhee, the runner-up 5th season of American Idol, but she should have won. And
I agree.
Ivy Lynn, who's played by Megan Hilty, and she was in 9 to 5 the musical, playing the Dolly Parton role.
So she has Broadway experience.
She does. She does. I've seen her in other things singing too. I'm sure of it. So yeah, it's a cross section between the new girl in town trying to break in and the lifelong chorus girl who wants to break out and be the star.
Right. But there's really a lot more to the show than just that. And I think that if it was just that, it would be a great show. Because
Well,
I'm
honestly-
actually kind of digging it.
Honestly, in that description, they did exactly what they do in the show. They went into, there were about 4 sentences I just cut out of that. That they said, and this character is trying to have a baby and it conflicts with her, and this character is getting a divorce and wants to produce the plan. Like, yeah, nobody needs to know that. It's a synopsis. That's where we're losing Gina.
That's exactly where they're losing me.
Too much
because
story and not enough musical theater.
I enjoy both story and musical theater.
It's true.
I do.
I do too.
But, and I don't know if I'm alone in this, but I feel like they have so much more that they could still be giving us, and yet I'm watching Deborah Messing's character work on her marriage with her husband and get this baby from China writing a letter
that
to the mom.
kind of came out of the blue.
It did
Yeah.
a little bit, yeah. And Gina also doesn't like that she's always wearing scarves.
She's got lots of scarves and sweaters.
And I, in fact, during the last episode, I think there's been 4 episodes now, I texted her, I said, don't worry, this week she doesn't have a scarf on. I don't know why that looked like, but I think the musical numbers are insanely great.
I love when they go off into that fantasy. Like
I love that. This is what it would look like
fantasy.
on Broadway, but for now we're in a rehearsal space, so you get both.
Yep. I think that's why I enjoy it so much too, not just because it's about Marilyn, but because it does have the 2 sides, you know, the coin there. And I love escaping into fantasy. Who doesn't?
Oh yeah.
You know, it's like leave all your troubles behind and just get swept away with all the glitz and the glamour. And I don't care so much though for the rivalries and the competitions, you know, that they're bringing into it.
Backstabbing little
Right, the
assistant.
scheming, the
It's
scheming
natural
part.
Broadway though, so
Yeah, so it's true to
and,
life.
Yeah. So we could have a lollipop version, but would anybody watch it?
True. And you know, and it reminds me, some of it reminds me of when I lived down in Hollywood. But those are kind of days that I would want to warn young girls about, but it seems like the show's doing a really good job of it, so I don't need to.
Right.
Well, it's not even just warning them; it's scaring them.
Well,
because
it should.
it's
You have
like,
to be careful.
Yeah.
Of all
well,
of that
be
stuff.
prepared, but maybe they could have had a little bit of that like scariness been spread out instead of all in the first 3 episodes. I've only seen 3 episodes,
A
and
lot
already
has
I'm
happened.
like,
That's
You're
true. A lot's
terrified?
happened in the first 3
Terrified.
episodes.
and I want to squish the little assistant's head because he's so annoying and
I
stealing
love
her.
him.
Of course you do. You know what? He played. I was surprised he had a girlfriend.
Me
In
too.
real life?
No,
On
in
the
the
show.
show.
In the show. How did I miss that? Are you sure he has a girlfriend?
Oh yes, there was a whole scene in the bedroom.
Do I have a wrong character?
The assistant,
Maybe you
curly
missed
little
that
hair.
little
The co-writer?
doo-dah diddy day.
not the co-writer.
Oh no, you're right. Oh no, I don't like that character at
Yeah.
all. Oh, no. Yeah, but I wasn't surprised when he had a girlfriend.
Yeah, I was.
I wasn't at all. Now that I know which character we're talking
He
about.
was far too fabulous. Like
No, he really isn't.
no,
He was very
apparently
metro,
not.
I will give you that, but maybe your gaydar's off.
I've never had gaydar.
That's the problem. So DianaDawn.com, and she is a local radio star, but the good thing about radio now is you can stream it live anywhere in the
True.
world. So that would be SonomaSunFM.com. And what night time, where can they find you?
Well, my show is Tuesday nights, and it's Some Like It Hot on Sun FM. Worldwide, streaming worldwide from 7 to 8. So it's an hour of fun, and I pay tribute to old Hollywood and celebrate the new.
And it's a really amazing show.
It's
Thank you ever so.
yeah, it's fun.
Oh, yeah, you girls were on. You popped in last week, and we had so much fun. It was pretty corny, but, you know, Popcorny is your...
Well, there is a
Name
little
of your
video clip
show?
of that show on YouTube right now, on our
That's right.
YouTube channel, which I don't have to explain because you're watching us on YouTube right now. So I'll just leave it at that.
Well, it's a lot of fun to be here, and I'm looking forward to singing a song.
Yay!
Thank you
Of course,
so much
the
for being.
band wasn't able to show up.
Oh, I think you can pull it off though.
I think
Okay.
But I was gonna say thank you so much for being. She's officially our second guest.
so. It's official.
Official, because our
Thank you.
first guest
Official.
interviewed us. So maybe even technically she's our first guest.
That's true.
Uh-huh.
We'll go with that.
Either way.
But
Just hope to come back again.
We'll have you
yes.
back. I promise.
Yes, you can enlighten me with some new fun things that I don't know about you.
There will be lots of things I won't tell you about her, so she can continue to surprise
Yay,
you.
right. And then the story will just, I'll have maybe next time come on when my story is all written and
Yes.
yes.
we
We'll
can
help
share
you
more.
sell it.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Sounds good. Girl needs all the support she can get. I
Girl
always
power.
say.
That's right.
For 15 additional minutes of fun with Diana Dawn, watch our blog at popcornypodcast.com/blog for the download to become available. Enjoy now Diana performing as Marilyn, Some Like It Hot.
I've got a fever, an inflammation, that's what I've got. You turn the heat on me, some like it hot. Look what you've started, a conflagration, baby, that's what. Don't let the flame go out, some like it hot. Oh, baby, I'm from that old school. I played real cool. But when you kissed me, I lit up like a four-alarm fire. Call out the engine, ring up the station, I'm on the spot. Love burns you up the most, like it or not. But baby, I like it hot.
Watch for part 2 of Popcorny Podcast as Gina and I debate the hot topics of this past week in our roundtable discussion. Thanks for listening. We encourage you to comment below or email popcornypodcast@gmail.com with your opinions on today's news. We'll share the best on our show. Or to really have your voice heard, call our voicemail at 206-339-0541 and record a message. The best of the best will be played on our show. For a recap and links to anything we've talked about, check out popcornypodcast.com/blog. See you next week.